Up, we have linebacker Josiah Trotter. Questions for Josiah? Greg?
So Josiah, defenses has had some better moments lately. Can you explain why? What are you guys doing better now than maybe you weren't earlier in the year?
Just coming together, just making, the game plan more simpler. Guys could really just play fast. And just really just getting a better job of just communicating, getting some of those busts out of there, and just those easy plays that some of the times offense can get, but just, getting a better job communicating across the board.
You feel like you've gotten better, individually as well?
Yeah. Over the season, a lot of stuff to continue to get better at and work on. A lot of things, of course, clean up. Never play a perfect game, but still a lot of things I want to continue to get better at and work on throughout the week.
Did you watch the Eagles last night?
Oh yeah. I watched at least a good amount of game before it got kind of late, and I just went to bed when I knew kind of we were gonna win. But yeah.
When you see that defense, I mean, what goes through your mind? I mean, so that's maybe the best other than the Steelers.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best defenses I watched for the Eagles for a long time. Maybe since when we went to the Super Bowl, but I think this defense might be better than that defense that year, honestly, especially with the amount of players that we have compared to that Super Bowl era when we went to the Super Bowl. But, I mean, we were a really good defense with Fangio as the DC.
What are some of the special issues that tempo teams give defenses when you know that teams like you're gonna get like and that team's gonna run 90 plays on you?
Yeah, the biggest issue is really just the communication part. When you're trying to go tempo, you're trying to get it across the board where everyone's on the same page. And, if you can't get that part across where you're communicating, that can hurt you really bad, where you're either getting a blown coverage or maybe a misfit in a run gap they're trying to run the ball. So the biggest thing is, when the team's going tempo, just getting a call in, making a call, and everybody knowing, getting set, and getting ready to play.
Is there a fatigue aspect to it, or is it just kind of like, they're running high octane just like you're trying to stop the high octane, so everybody's going to get blown up at some point?
Nah, yeah, I mean, there can be a fatigue issue in there too, especially if it's a long drive, those 17-play drives, whatever the case can be. But the biggest thing is, especially in practice this week, us getting lined up fast, running to the ball, just running around and just making sure we're just getting ourselves ready for this game and getting in shape.
Did you do anything different preparation-wise or conditioning-wise for a game like this because you're expecting maybe more plays, crazy type of game?
No, not really. I mean, I guess maybe the tempo, practicing more of that tempo within the offense. But, I mean, really just running to the ball, I mean, something we do every week and try to focus on and just make sure you're running to the ball, keeping a game pace. I feel like when you do that, I mean, you're going to be in shape no matter what.
Asking everybody this. So, favorite Thanksgiving food?
I'm more of a mac and cheese type of person. I go straight to the sides, yeah. I'm more of mac and cheese. I think that's a mandatory.
Mac and cheese, not stuffing as much?
No.
You're the third guy who said that.
Yeah, he's come. Garrett liked it too, but Garrett had a professional athlete father. Obviously, you did as well. I don't know, maybe there's somebody else on the team. I can't think of anybody. But is it different growing up in that kind of household that you guys had than it's all you knew? So maybe you didn't know any different. But is that a different lifestyle coming up?
Yeah, I mean, of course, growing up when you have a father in the household who especially played on that level and, had a great career out of it and played a long time, of course, playing the sport is going to be a lot more different, a lot more. You got a target on your back at all times, especially just growing up, playing from Little League all the way up through high school. Always got a target on your back, and you just, got to outwork and, put the work in and, let your ability show on the field. And really just, when we were younger, we just look at him as dad. But as you get older, you start to realize and everything like that. So, but, when we were younger, you just see him as dad, kind of just, being your younger self as a kid. But, as you grow older, you start to realize, and it's great to be able to have that, have that father figure in life, especially too that played in the NFL, to be able to give you key points, how to watch film, how to just prepare, and how to just carry yourself as an athlete, as a man, and then especially just as a football player.
Did you go to him? I know you do regularly, but did you go to him for advice in particular this year? The defense obviously was under a microscope. There were some ups and downs, defensive coordinator change, things like that. Did he say anything to you that stood out? Anything that you want to share about that tutelage throughout a roller coaster year as a team?
Nah. I mean, when we talk, we just really just talk about ball and everything like that. I mean, he'll just give me key points and stuff to help me apart for my game and everything like that. Things I need to continue to work on and get better at and just focus on throughout the week. But everything with that part, he just leaves that to the coaches and everything like that.
Growing up, a lot of kids, when their dad's trying to tell them what they got to do, kind of roll their eyes like, okay, Dad, you can't really roll your eyes at Dad when he's trying to. What was that like? Just knowing that okay, he's going to give me some pointers and he's pretty good. So there's no like eye rolling. It's like, oh, I'm going to listen to everything he's got to say.
Yeah. I mean, even with me, all my siblings, I know, kind of sometimes you just see him as dad, and sometimes it can get repetitive, and it's like, oh man, like same thing, But you get to a point, especially where I'm at, where, he's seen it all, done it all. I mean, of course, the game has changed from when he's played, so there's some things that he's learning now within like certain schemes of offense now. But I mean, as far as playing the run and a lot of that part, I mean. The knowledge he has, I mean, all you can do is just sit back and listen and just kind of just use it to grow, because at the end of the day, I'm not perfect, so I know whatever he has to tell me is only going to help me get better and improve, and that's at the end of the day, I'm trying to get to where he was and better.
And I'm sure like when if he's saying the same thing more than once, there's probably, instead of like, here we go again, now in your career, you're probably like, oh, if he's saying this multiple times, there's a point to this. I should probably really listen. Has it gotten to that point? It's like where you come to the realization of, if he keeps pointing this out, I should probably, listen and apply it.
Yeah, especially like when it maybe might come to like a technique, something as far as like technique or a technique issue or something like that. But yeah, it gets to a point where it's like, gotta really, listen, and just over these past fall camp and spring ball just really helping me, and throughout this season just kind of just helping me, and especially with the little stuff.
Texas tempo on offense, is it different than the other high-tempo teams you all have faced this year?
Say that again?
Texas Tech's tempo on offense, is it different than the other high-tempo teams you all have played?
I would say so. Like a couple years back, we went to Texas Tech, and even last year, they were really high tempo. Of course, I didn't play against those teams, but listen to a lot of players, their tempo was a lot different from a lot of teams that we're going to play. So I couldn't really tell you exactly how it was going to be, just because I didn't play them yet, since I wasn't really here or playing last year. But talking to a lot of guys and coaches, the tempo that they bring is going to be a lot faster than what we're compared to. So I would say yeah.
After last year, what was this year like for you to get back into it? And I mean, did you have some doubts? And you had to feel like you got out of jail.
Say it again?
After last year, this year had to feel like getting out of jail and getting back on the field and mixing it up. What did it mean to you?
Yeah, it meant a lot, especially missing the whole year last year and everything that happened last year. But it was great, to finally like get out there and finally play my first college game, make my first tackle and everything. And just as the season goes along, and at the same time, my body's getting used to it, because being a year off of football and then just kind of lifting, your body's not used to hitting and running around a lot of that, especially now we're 10, 11 weeks in. But getting used to that. But I'm just happy and blessed just to be out there, be healthy right now.
Was it all what you expected, or were you surprised at all by anything? It's obviously it's one thing to watch it on film, it's another thing to go out there and do it.
Yeah, I think it was all what I kind of expected to be. You just kind of just focus on your 1/11th and what you have to do, and yeah, it was really just all I expected kind of to be.
Okay, thank you very much.